Sight reading is such an important skill to develop as a musician. Not only will it allow you to interact with other musicians, join in and chamber music, but you'll also learn your solo repertoire faster. In this video, I want to share with you one of the 62 lessons that are available inside Classical Guitar Corner Academy based off of this book, Progressive Sight Reading for Classical Guitar. I developed this program over 10 years. It was the topic of my doctoral thesis. And this video will take you as if we're sitting down together in a lesson for about 20 minutes, and we're going to work in fifth position. So I challenge you to read everything in this lesson in fifth position. However, if fifth position is a bit too foreign for you, or you're very new to reading music, you can also read down in first position for a lot of the material. So let's dive in to sight reading for the classical guitar. In Unit 9.1, we are in the fifth position, and we're centering around the key of C major. Let's play together now this C major scale, starting first finger on the 5th fret of the 3rd string C. It's a 1-octave scale in this lesson, and we don't have a huge range that we're working on. You may notice that when we get to the exercises that they've become a little simpler than we've had before. This is because we're up in the 5th position now, and the fingerboard is a little less familiar than the 1st position. As we explore exercise number 1, first let's have a look at the shape of it. C 4 times, D 4 times, E 4 times, and then 3 Fs. So we can squash this down to really just 4 notes, C, D, E, F, and it's a little scale fragment. So practice moving your eyes forward to the next measure as soon as you've played the first note in each measure. Let's do it together slowly. 2, 3, 4. Always remembering to hold the long notes at the end for their full duration. One more time, again practicing moving your eyes forward. If you found it easy enough to move from one measure to another, try 2 measures at a time. 2, 3, 4. Exercise number 2. Here we have some patterns we can latch onto as well. If you look at measure 1, measure 2, and measure 3, they all have ascending scale patterns. The first 2 are repetitive, not only in their shape, but also their exact repetition. So once again, we can move our eyes forward and chunk these into patterns. Let's read together. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, cut. Exercise 3 is not as repetitive as the ones before, but we can also make out some linear scale-like patterns, descending ones this time. Let's count together slowly, and then we'll play a little faster the second time. 2, 3, 4. A little faster now. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can also find that even with things that are not as obviously repetitive, you can still move your eyes forward when you get to those scale fragments. All right, exercise number 4 now. Let's see if you can take a quick scan and see if there are any pieces of the melody that we can latch onto as a pattern. For me, not so much. But let's play through it anyway. Together, 2, 3, 4. Let's play it one more time. We'll keep it at the same tempo, but let's see if we can add some expressiveness to it. So perhaps that F to the E in the second measure is loud to soft, and perhaps at the end as well we go down the scale, E, D, C, with a bit of a decrescendo. From the top, 2, 3, 4. In exercise number 5, let's see if we can see any patterns here. I can definitely see some with rhythm. So we have 4 quarter notes, then 2 plus a half note, and then the same repeated again. Rhythmic repetition is just as useful as pitch repetition. So let's have a read through. 2, 3, 4. One more time, a little faster. 2, 3, 4. Okay, exercise number 6 now. This is a bit of a longer exercise, but all of the same principles apply. Can we take a quick scan? We're in 4/4. We're still in the same key of C major. We can perhaps identify a few repetitive elements, scale fragments, stepwise motion, and some rhythms as well. So we might have some opportunities to move forward with our eyes. From the top, nice and slow and controlled. 2, 3, 4. Did you notice there's a couple of moments that seem really obvious for moving your eyes forward? One might be the repeated C's at the end of the first system there, and the repeated G's in the second measure of that second system. We've also got these descending scale fragments that keep appearing again and again. So whenever you see those patterns, chunk them together and let's move our eyes forward. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 7 now, and we're starting up with some ledger lines. Ledger lines can make reading a little tricky, but this has stepwise movement at the beginning, descending C, B, A, and then we repeat that in the second measure. So already we're chunking those materials together. Let's have a go. Starting on C with your 4th finger on the 8th fret of the 1st string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you notice that basically it's a descending C major scale with a bit of repeat on those first 4 notes? Let's try it one more time, now thinking of this as just really a descending C major scale. 4th finger on C, 1, 2, 3, 4. Measure 8, exercise 8, excuse me. Let's just dive right in. Similar material. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Exercise number 9. This has a few more leaps in it. So let's take a little bit of a slower tempo to compensate for the increased challenge. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 3, 4. Starting to sound a bit more like a melody here. What is that interval there at the end, going from a C to a C? That's an octave there. So it's a nice, similar things to latch onto with scale fragments or repeated rhythms is that octave leap, or any interval for that matter. Let's read through number 9 one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Exercise 10, and we're really starting to move around quite a lot. I do see a lot of repeated intervals there between B and C. It happens 1, 2, 3, 4 times ascending, and then one more time at the very end. So that's good to know. That's probably going to be our 3rd finger on the B and 4th finger on the C. Just something to latch on to. All right, let's have a read of exercise number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's very clearly 2 4 measure ideas there, and we have a descending. If you look at the 1st beat and the 4th beat of the measures, we get that descending scale. So let's see if we can lock our ears onto that. It helps us navigate our way through this scale a little bit faster. Number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's have a look at exercise number 11, and we have some dynamics. So before we start, let's map them out. We're starting out 4/4 time, still C major, starting out forte, so nice and strong and loud. That continues all the way for the first line, and then in the second line we have piano at the beginning there of the second line. That piano continues until we see a crescendo on those 4 Gs, going through A, and then forte on the B, and finally a C. Now if you look at that whole second line there, what do you see? If you start at the C in the first measure and then the C in the last measure, what's in between? It's just a scale. So we can not really worry about the pitches there so much as focusing on controlling those dynamics, and we really just have one long scale in that second line. All right, let's go from the top. 1, 2, nice and loud. 3, 4. Soft. Look ahead. louder. 2, 3, 4. Let's take it from the top now, a little bit faster from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move your eyes forward and dynamics. Three, 4. Louder. 2, 3, 4, cut. All right, here's our melody for this lesson, and a very well-known one to be sure. So we'll play through it, and our ear will be able to tell us if we're getting all the correct notes because we're probably very familiar with this melody. Okay, from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, seeing as it's such a well-known melody, I want to test your ability to drop in and out if it's too difficult. So I'm going to play it at a fast tempo and join in with me as best you can. But if you find yourself making a mistake, drop out and see if you can re-enter at the next spot that makes the most sense. That's your goal, if in fact it's too fast, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, last but not least, we have harmony. So there are pairs of notes in this first exercise, number 13. And of course, when in doubt, drop out. So if you come across a pair of notes that you don't have enough time to get your fingers there and you can't find them both in time, just play one of the notes or drop out entirely. However, we do have some long whole notes that you can use to look ahead and see if you can identify the next pairs of notes. What I'd like you to do is pause the video, read through this once now on your own, and then unpause the video and we'll play it together. Okay, let's play it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Great. Let's go to 14 now, and here we have sustained notes in one voice while the other voice moves. And in the third measure it gets even a bit more complex where the lower voice gets more, the upper voice gets more active. Let's start a nice slow tempo, and once again, when in doubt, drop out. You could even just latch onto that upper line if it's too challenging. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just do it one more time at that same tempo. If you missed out some notes, see if we can get a few more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you played that with nice finger independence in the left hand, you'd get a nice duet coming between the two lines. Great. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next lesson.